Hello everybody. So this is Paula. Welcome to my channel. So here on my channel I go through and share my personal planning, which can be a wide variety of things, kind of depending on the situation. Right now I have a pretty consistent routine. Coming at you from a parking lot. I am parked, but I am in my car, enjoying a morning where I don't have to go to work. I'm not going to work until noon today, so I thought that would give me the opportunity to do some filming and some natural light out here as I'm doing some other things. And it's overcast and rainy, but I guess that's what you get for spring in the Midwest, right? We're happy it's rain and not snow. So here on my channel, right? So I focus on my planning. I am a wife, a mother, a farmer, a professional in a nonprofit. And planning for me is very, very functional, as I am the organizer in my home. I said I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3 young children. And as those children get a little bit older and get into their own things, this year I have a school ager, a pre-K kiddo, and a daycare kiddo, all in different buildings with different activities and different special dates that I need to keep track of. Next year, potentially, they will all be in the same building for the first time in the last 3 years since my oldest went off to school. And just keeping all of that stuff organized. Where do they need to be? When do I need to be there? When are their late starts, early outs, just all the things. And that is my job, one of my jobs in our household. So I'm working. My planning has evolved immensely in the last year. It was about a year ago that I became super discontent with my planning that I was doing at the time. And so I was trying to figure out a way to separate, either adding a daily to my weekly that had worked for me for years, or a way to separate personal from work because of all these things happening in my personal life. Putting my personal things into my work appointment book no longer felt like it was super conducive or successful for me. So I was really kind of, digging into things, and then I found Planner YouTube, and I tried a lot of things, and it took a lot of trying, but I'm feeling like I really have a system now that I enjoy and that works well, that looks nothing like my planning system before did, or like I ever anticipated my planning system to look. So that has been interesting. And so this video today is going to be the end of Q1 update on my planning. So you can go back and look at kind of the stack video that I did a couple months ago now about what I was going into 2023 doing as far as planners, journals, goal setting, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to come back in this video today and show you where I'm at the end of Q1, what's working, what's not working, what I have not followed through on, because that's something I struggle with for sure. But thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. If it sounds at all interesting to you, to come and check out my planning, it's getting prettier. I'm really working on ways I can make it pretty and functional, but it's functional. It's messy. It's what I rely on to get me and my entire family of 5 where we need to be when we need to be there. So it works for me, and hopefully you enjoy watching or gain something that works for you too. Hello. All right, welcome back. This is my end of Q1 update on my planners. This isn't going to be a super long video. A lot of it is very similar to what I was doing, but I did want to give an update, some little changes, some things that I figured out. So I'm going to start with my power sheets. And if you watched, I believe it was just last week, I did a video on my quarterly refresh for my power sheets and my April setup. I am still in my power sheets. I come back to this every month. I set up the tending list, but I put the tending list information in to my everyday carry. So I'm doing the power sheets, but I don't spend a lot of time in the book other than doing the prep work. So still using the power sheets goal planner for my goal setting for 2023. The second thing that is still the same, this is my Erin Condren 7x9 lined notebook that I set up my budget in and that I use for budgeting. I am still using it. I am playing around with different ways to lay things out by paycheck. These are stickers from Life in Envelopes. Trying those out. I can't do anything without just a little bit of pretty, so I have the budget headers. I don't do some of the other things, the expense tracking and whatnot, in this budget book, so I didn't get her full kit, but I've got her headers. Look at this. This floral is beautiful. I'm going to link her shop down below. I love, she's a great follow here on YouTube with her videos for budgeting. And someday maybe I'll be brave enough to do a budgeting video, but she is fantastic. And she has beautiful, beautiful stickers. Loving the set of 3 similar patterned florals. Fantastic. Anyway, so that's my budget. Still doing that. Still enjoying that. Nothing really has changed with that. Still in that. The next thing that did not change is my work planner, the Wonderland 222A5. I'm still doing that. I'm still doing my participant lists in the front, if you look back at the setup video. And then I have spots for participant lists each month through the rest of the year. Still tracking days off, holidays, and annual leave, and sick leave. I don't know if I need to track that or not, but I'm still doing it. Some passwords and the number of hours that I'm working every day. Can't show that. And those past spreads were all of the assessment tracking and review tracking that I need to do for families. Some more spots for future participant lists. Routine tracker, I was tracking families down the side and then dates when I have what's called significant contacts with them. I didn't like it. I didn't like trying to read it sideways, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm tracking our significant contacts on the participant lists, which are up here in the front, which I was doing that before when that was separate from my planner. I have gone in and printed out a bunch of just what I call item checklists. So that's if I need to give them an annual survey, I have who I did it with, when I did it, and that it's done for just a bunch of different items. There's initials on that one, but just glued those onto some pages so that information was in here and not a separate piece of paper that I needed to track. More important dates and whatnots. And then I'm still, again, I wasn't in so much in January, but I use reminders that I use my monthly to track trainings that I take and the amount of time that they take, as I am responsible for entering those into spreadsheets. I'm still doing that in March. Haven't done much in April. And I did a flip through of this, so you'll see that either before or after this. I don't remember when these videos are coming out, but I use my weekly for all appointments, timed things for all of my things related to work, which continues. That has not changed. And then in the back, I use the daily pages split 2 days per page for a daily list for work-related tasks. So while it has evolved a little bit, it remains largely the same. The next thing that is the same is my Sprouted. This is what I call my farm reference book. This is a Sprouted planner, monthly planner. Love it. Haven't gotten into here yet, but I plan to use this. We haven't done anything in the field because it is still cold and now it's very wet today. But I plan to use dot markers to track when we're harvesting, when we're planting, when we're picking rock, and when we're doing any tillage, so I can see the year at a glance from those different color-coded things. So I just use the monthlies here for basic things related to the farm. When I pay things, when things are due, when we buy things. Sometimes I put additional things like when we signed operating notes and loans and things. Sometimes I put things in here like I'm sick or the kids are sick. That's not stuff this is mainly farm stuff. If there's other big things that seem important at the time, I write them down. But it is mainly farm related things so that I can look back at the end of the year as I'm preparing for taxes. And that's what this continues to be. March is always a dead month. We do our pre-buying of things earlier, so like there's nothing going on in March for the farm, except we did get some chickens, so that's exciting. We have baby chicks. And now as we get into April, we hauled some chicks. Nope, we hauled some corn. to the co-op. My husband hauled some corn to the co-op yesterday. Anyway, that's how I plan to continue to use the monthlies in here. Just to have a really, I used to note that stuff in when I was planning in an 8.5 by 11 at a glance. I would note it on the monthly or somewhere on the weekly spread. And then I just have to flip through and look for all that information. And so now, while I could totally do that and I could condense and totally get rid of this, it's not necessary, but it is nice because it's separate. I know exactly where the farm things are, and it takes up very little room on a shelf or anywhere else as I'm going through things. So when I'm keeping things at the end of the year, not much, very small footprint that this takes up that I have to keep, or if I keep it in my box of farm tax things. So that's still the same. I wanted to show you what that looks like. And then the last thing that is the same is the 222 ACE, the Wonderland 222 A6. Nothing has changed in this. This is what I do my weekly plan with me in. I'm still using the monthlies. That's my no spend sticky note. Monthlies is kind of just a broad overview of big things going on for the month's paydays, no school days, early out days, and anything that would be abnormal. So I have a class on some Sunday nights. That's on there because that would be out of the typical routine for the month. Obviously, paydays are not out of the routine, but I do like to have them noted on there just so I have it in print where it is. My weekly is where I do, this is kind of really the heart of my planning, I feel like. Events, it's got my workouts. It has just kind of a general schedule of things for my work, nothing specific, but gives me an idea of when I'm going to be sitting in my office and when I'm going to be out on the road based on the things that I have going on. So that's how my weekly goes. And then my dailies, which have been kind of fun. I'm new to daily planning. I wanted to get involved in daily planning. And my pages in the back here are still daily planning. I have a full page for the weekend days, which for me are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are each on the 2 days per page system because I want to get through this book and then I have a half year book and I want that to make it through the year. So I'm doing that, I think maybe like through the middle of August, I think, and then the rest of the year will be 1 page per day. But that's how I'm using my dailies. I order stickers when there's sales or things like that. And so I have, date covers and days of the week, and I make it as fun as I can. But some days, like I did a flip the other day, but when I started it, it looked like this. And this is what my planning has always been, and that's okay too. On the days when it works out for it to be fun, great. But if it doesn't, I need it to be this. I need my to-do list for things to do and reminders. And then I also made this into my wallet, which was previously in a Passport TN. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm keeping it right now. Those are the other ones in my thing. But those are kind of the main cards that I need to have with me. There's some insurance cards and like rewards things in there. In the back is receipts and any cash that I might have, which isn't often. But yeah, that's still my everyday carry, still loving it. The things that have changed, I have, or I guess added, not really even changed, but I have an EC perpetual calendar in here, which is where I've started keeping track of video ideas and when I'm posting content. So that's kind of what's been going on those days. Nothing elaborate, but I haven't figured out a good way to put it into my everyday carry. So right now I'm keeping track of it there. And this is the last thing, and I'm not going to share this in a whole lot of detail, but this is my prayer journal, which I actually just didn't share in the first video for whatever reason. I guess I don't know if I forgot or just wasn't thinking about it, but I was really consistent in it in January and in February and for the first half of March, and now I'm trying to get back into it. But it's kind of been a fun place for me to kind of play with washi and write down prayer intentions for every day. So like I said, I'm not going to go through that. As a B6stology in a Moterm B6 cover. So that's what that is. Oh, and the one thing I didn't grab, hang on. Okay, I'm back. I knew I was forgetting something. The reason that I didn't grab this was because probably the last time I grabbed this was the last time I did a video with it, where I was putting up the new March 13th is the last time that I wrote in here. And before that, it was March 1st. So it has been a while, but this is my Petite Folio with my wellness log where I was tracking food and workouts. I was going to work on journaling and gratitude journal, daily gratitude, along with my yearly habit trackers where I was keeping track of things. So it's still in my planning process, but it's been sitting behind my recliner for quite some time. So whether or not I pick that back up and get back into it remains kind of yet to be determined. But either way, like, it is what it is. While it's working for me, great. All these things are undated, so I can come back and write in them whenever it works for me to do so. And until then, you know, it is what it is. I think that's kind of the way of planning and of life, just to be like flexible. It's not always, certainly not always 100%. It's not always consistent. It's life. And sometimes it's messy and it looks a little bit, I don't know, sporadic maybe is the word. So anyway, that is my current stack, my Q1 update of what all I have going on at the end of Q1 in 2023. So I would love to hear how your planning systems and stack has changed from January 1st now to the beginning of April. If you'd love to share, I'd love to hear about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to hear more seemingly random content from me and my planning, subscribe, and I hope everyone has a great day.